Welcome, trainers!
Pikachu!
I like that video finally came out, like however many months later.
I can't believe it's like a month and a half later.
They're using it for the GoFest Paris, though, aren't they? That's what they're using it for.
They're
which is
publicising it
phenomenal.
for the cheeky
Yeah.
levels.
They're doing it for Paris GoFest. Because
it's
the
Paris
badge on it is
GoFest.
Paris GoFest, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Longevity.
Marky's a time traveller. You and those 4 other creators.
That I am.
But we know at least where all the resources have gone. They've not gone to Pokemon Go. They've gone to this time machine so they can do media promotion.
I was like literally on X and someone went, is this you? And I went, hold on, what's going on? You have that
It is
moment,
not
don't
me.
you?
They have taken my identity.
But you have that moment, don't you? We go, hold on here. If someone's asking that question, something's on there that I'm not aware of. And you're like... And I went, oh, there it is.
What's
I'm
this
sure there's
link?
many things online that we don't know about.
Jeez. I always thought they're going to superimpose you in front of us going, welcome, trainers. And then
That'd be brilliant.
it would have been.
And he's a green screen Vassar.
Yeah.
But that is a dangerous route to take if you upload a green screen piece of footage of yourself and say, go crazy. And it's just, people are superimposing
not
God knows
gonna
what
happen.
behind Vassar.
In a field
Like
of
one of those,
swaddles.
like one of those TikToks with somebody in the
Field
corner
of Swaddle.
like, reacting. On today's show, Mark recounts seeing a blue dog. Milo recounts seeing a red bear. And I definitely did not wear a crown this weekend. Yeah, sorry guys. It's a really bad intro for what is Welcome, trainers!
Save him!
episode 223 of the Incense podcast. Really, there's not a lot happening this week, so I may as well say I'm Ian Waterfall. This is Incensed podcast, and with me, as always, we have Whitfield and Barrow. Boys, help me out. There's no news. There's nothing happening. Come on, talk.
What do you mean? I mean, there's news that, is very old hat for everybody else, but for us covering on this show, it is fresh and frankly fantastic. But now, are you referring to Pawmi?
Yes, I
It's
am. Yes.
A pink bear. If
like a
Pawmi's a
pink-
bear, then I'm the Pope.
Bless you, my child.
Bless you. Bless you, Milo.
It's more of a hamster, isn't
But it's
it?
not a dog, is it?
Well, no, funnily enough, dogs and hamsters, very different things, Vasa.
Are you sure?
So are bears. I'd have to play a very specific piece of the soundboard in order to hear what a dog
No, we're not
was.
talking about turtles. Like, moving on.
No.
Again, clarify the animal.
I mean, I made a reference that poor Mo looks like Teddy Ruxpin, so that's a teddy. So I'd work with that.
Exactly.
A berry, yeah, that's a bear.
Kind of
yeah.
like a bear.
Tenuous
Anyway,
Teddy.
since when did we ever know what we're talking about on this show?
That's why we're here.
Not since episode 102.
Exactly. Why break with tradition?
That was by luck.
But boys, I am not joking. Other than like the news, which we'll get into shortly, there's literally nothing to talk about this week. So we are going to scrape that barrel clean. We're going to talk about everything we can. But before we do, it is time to...
Slap on the incense, boys. It's time to go.
And once you've slapped on that incense, extended it with Roar of Time, padded it like I am doing now, and caught something that you really want to flex to the three of us, you can do that on any or all of our socials: X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky if you must. You can use the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Could you please clarify that spelling for me, please?
Yes, the hashtag is SHINIES.
Nice.
THEWEEK.
Nice.
You know what? I've
Nice.
noticed it's actually harder to say it slow than when we say it at normal speed.
So why did
I thought
you?
you wanted us to tag team it then, Ian. Not
No,
run out the
I'm-
runtime of the episode.
I'm padding. We need to make this show
I thought we had a
actually
really bad
more
connection,
than
like it was
20
lagging.
minutes.
I thought Ian was like not telling us we had to tag team, and I went, no, he's getting runtime here. 38
No.
seconds of
I'm
Shinies
padding.
of the Week.
I'm padding until Milo cops it down to normal speed in the edit. I'm sure he won't.
No, he won't.
Anyway, other ways you can contact us if you don't want to use one of those 4 socials, you can use our email address, contact@incentpodcast.com. If you are a patron, you can use the Flex It Good or Shines of the Week channels in our Patreon exclusive Discord. you can send a Shinies of the Week to our WhatsApp number, which is +44 759 269 5696. And
Could you clarify the spelling?
no. We don't need that much runtime. But boys, this past week, there's been a fair bit going on in Pokemon Go, and it's all historic. But let's have a quick talk about, well, 3 things that all happened pretty much at the same time, starting with the Crown Clash event, which dropped on a Saturday.
Yeah, there's very few events that begin typically on a Saturday. I got to say, I didn't like it.
Well,
It just
I
felt
don't
very-
get an edge on everybody else. It's
It's like the event started, and you've also got another thing going on, it's Dynamax Suicune.
yeah.
That's another thing we'll be
That was
talking
the other
about
thing
as
that was
well.
all
And
happening at the
then
same
also
time, yeah.
within the same weekend, you've got Pawmi Community Day. And it's just
Okay, let's slow down. We need to pad. Let's talk about all of these
well, I
things
mean, I'm just
individually,
reading out
yeah.
the list of what you wrote to recap, but
Yes.
He's been funny today, Ian, isn't he? He's been very speedy today, isn't he? Speedy.
Like Milo's looking for
Milo-ish.
an old Coops episode of 38 minutes.
38. I was just thinking 38, Ian. That's very
let's see
scary.
what we can stretch to here. But it was weird because everything was clustered to the end of the week, and
Yeah.
honestly, that past week, nothing was going on during the
really
course of the week at all. It was literally going like, what is there to actually do? And to be honest, it felt quite nice to have like a little bit of a downtime and break from the game because, you know, who cares necessarily for Tapu Fini, etc. Glad that
True.
thing's gone personally.
Yeah, but it's been replaced by the Lake Trio. I mean, that's not really an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, depends if you have the shiny or not, I guess.
I haven't got any of the shiny Tapu Finis yet, and that didn't motivate me to play it, and I haven't got shiny Mesprit yet, so there we go.
Okay. Oh, Mesprit. Okay, that's
Well, as I
actually
say,
doable.
I
but
think
the-
you'll probably look with both of us, and we both have them to spare as trades.
The Tapu boat has sailed on through until the end of the month when the Bundlenger,
Tapu Koko, is it, or Coca?
it's the Bulu, I think is back. No, Crown Clash. Interesting
okay, so
one.
let's break it down. So, the chase, as you two both got quite gushy about, is the costumed Nido, Queen, and King.
The namesake of the event.
The Royal
Yeah.
Lidos, yeah.
So, in terms of chasers, have we got anywhere with them? Milo's probably got like 3 of each in terms of the shinies.
I've
But
got bugger all, mate. Like,
okay,
it's been a struggle.
Well,
Struggle. That's the damn thing. So, I mean, any of these raid lock Pokemon that are costumes, you know the field research task is going to be, hey, you got to win a raid at least. No, in this case, it's win 2 raids to do the tasks. Not only are they obviously time consuming and kind of raid locked things, they're also quite rare. Handful, bit more on the 3-star raid side, but yeah, difficult to get. Personally, haven't got either of the shinies. Did pull in the quest Hundo, which is very nice.
okay, that's a result.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But obviously we're chasing the sparkly one. And they're both, well, I'd say Nido King is the better shiny because Nido Queen is a little bit grungy green, but they're good chases. And I'll continue chasing them during the course of this week because, of course, we've got part 2. Has Marky had any costume luck? See, the man who doesn't care for costumes is a liar, a barefaced liar with his shiny Nido King
look
there.
at it.
Thank you, Andrew Crow, for the invite.
It's a
Seriously.
beautiful blue.
It is a beautiful shiny. It really is.
Very beautiful blue.
But having said that, I was chasing, and I don't know if Mark's in a similar boat. I think Mark might have more shiny Pawniard than I. I was chasing the shiny Pawniard raids at the weekend, and on Saturday they just were not spawning anywhere. Sunday there was a few more about, but Saturday there was no Pawniard raids anywhere in my local area that I could find.
Yeah, so Nido, Crown, Royal raid bosses, no shinies yet for me.
It's because we said we like costumes,
It's
isn't
because
it?
we said we like costumes, but I do like the female Nido Queen. I like the colour contrast on the little nips. They turn green. I like that nice little bit on it. I think that's quite a nice. The king's all
Bikini.
yeah. The king's all dark blue. The female one gets the colour change.
She gets
as well,
like
which I
yeah,
think's-
the bikini top.
yeah, bikini top. Yeah, so but they're both solid. So but not shining yet. And yeah, Ian, you're right. The only Pokemon that started with a paw on Saturday was not Pawniard. In fact, it wasn't even Pawmi because that was on Sunday. But it was.
It was.
But no, I mean, like you said, I only had one shiny Pawniard up till now. Got a second one traded with me by my boyfriend, so Ash. So I've got 2.
Good on you, Ash.
Neither of them are good. So I've got.
So you need one more as well.
Yeah, I do
I'm in
need one
the
more.
unenviable position. I suppose it could be worse. I could have none, but I've just got the one which I got at GoFest, New York in 23. So the chase is on for me, but I do resent using remote passes for them. However,
For Pawniard, yeah.
full disclosure, I have wasted so many remote passes on Pawniard when I've seen
Good lad,
them.
Ras. Good lad.
God help you.
I know.
And then he did
But
one
each to their
Nido
own.
King, and he did one Nido King, and it bloody shined.
See, there you go.
I did
Exactly.
one. I think I got on my 6th Nido King raid.
Oh, Vassar, well done.
I wish Mark and I could be smug and be like, oh, look, we got the Pawniard instead. But no,
No.
alas, nothing. I tell you, the weekend was a bit rough in terms of just
Well,
trying.
as in, we're segueing into Suicune now.
Well, I'll segue back into the good
Actually,
old
it's a cat, isn't it? It's
pollination.
not a dog.
It was a challenging Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, coincidentally. Suicune for me was the chase really on the Saturday, because that's only there for 2 days, and then it's gone for God knows how long whenever the roadmap decides to suddenly do a U-turn and come back to the Johto Beasts. Tried chasing on the Saturday to not interfere with the community day on Sunday, and Suicune showed me a lovely two-fingered salute, basically, for the entire weekend. I think I totaled up on 28 or 29 battles done.
Oof.
No shiny,
Oh!
no decent IVs or anything. So I was like, do you know what? Okay, fine. That's just RNG, unfortunately. That's how it goes. Thankfully, there is a certain Italian who has a spare for me. So even Vass has managed to pick up 2 of the damn shots. But this is the
And
game.
he only did 6 battles.
So I'm going to cut the call now. I'll see you later.
Well, I did 8 minutes of the show then.
Honestly.
Well, I didn't do any, which isn't a surprise. So I did on the Sunday.
Because it was duoable, so you
No,
could have done some with Ash.
no,
Just
we
the
couldn't.
personnel, right?
No, we couldn't have done, because Ash doesn't do the Dynamax and power them up and do all that
Come on,
stuff.
Ash.
No,
Come on, Ash, what are you playing at,
listen,
man?
we all play the game differently, and he's got no interest of doing that part of it. I kind of get it. Some people want to do it,
There are
some
lots
people
of people
don't.
like that, to be fair, yeah.
So he doesn't do the max particles, doesn't do all the powering up and that. So, to have any chance, we both would have needed a couple of blisses, fully tanked up and powered up. And I had one fully powered up and that, but between us, we didn't have enough. So, for me, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Maybe that'll change moving forward. But another one not done. So that's all the beasts. I haven't got any of them in
Ian's got a
Dynamax
spare.
form. But I haven't got any of them just as a Dynamax, let alone a shiny one. So, but yeah.
I have
they're nice to
plenty
get.
of each, but the Suicune was only one of the 3 that actually shone for me. And strangely enough, it's probably because it's my least favourite of the 3 shinies as well.
I wish that were true for me as well, but it just didn't happen.
It's mad how it
Well,
goes like that, isn't it? It's mad.
If
It's weird.
Mambo Italiano doesn't trade you one, I've got a spare. They're
Grazie,
both
Vassa.
equally bad 2 stars.
I tell you, actually, it was just even over the weekend, because this sort of thing, it slips my mind of the fact that the Shadow Reggies are in every single weekend
They
of the
are.
month. And
And-
obviously, Reggie Rock is back.
Yeah, and Reggie Gigas was yesterday.
Yes, hope everyone had a stellar raid day. I was like, oh yeah, I don't actually have a Shadow Shiny Reggie Rock, and I don't have a Hundo Reggie Rock, so I'll do a couple of raids.
Yeah.
Reggie Rock wasn't a nice dude. Apart
he
from
not?
not really
Was
spawning
he not
over
dark
the
brown
weekend.
for you then?
No, and actually, I know we're skipping forward to a little bit. Post Community Day, we did a Shadow Reggie Rock as a community, kind of just to finish up the day. And I looked and it was like, oh, this is actually quite a decent CP. Maybe, I mean, if it's shiny, it wasn't shiny, but I thought maybe it could be a Pundo, a purified Hundo. Even that didn't work out. It came out as the 98 purified. I'm like, okay, after this weekend.
It's kind of a functional Hundo, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Would you want a functional Hundo Reggie Rock in your life?
Just
Probably
think-
not.
It was a fun weekend.
There is some good news that happened at the weekend.
What?
Well, you know how Mark is equally as bad as opening gifts as you are, Whitfield?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I went lucky with him. I'm not sure what happened, but I just got a pop-up going. You've got lucky friends with Basketball 27. But before I could actually see the pop-up, my phone kind of cleared the notification. So I'm like scrolling through to try and figure out who I'm lucky friends with. And like, it's Barrow.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well,
Just a few
Ian
weeks
knows
at GOFest.
Well, Ian knows how it came back because he watched my vlog. And it
I
says
did
in my
actually.
vlog.
Yeah, Mark used his lucky trinket on me because he was panicking because it was about to expire. And I think I was at the top of his list.
Ian, that's not true. But it's believable.
Cleverly engineered.
But it's believable.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, Mark filters his by name, so W's right at the bottom.
Listen, at the end of the day, I think you're very lucky, Ian. You're my favourite, obviously. Mine, I still love you, really. But yeah,
I'll play second fiddle. It's fine.
at the end of the day, guys, like,
Any
it is
fiddle's a
what
good
it is.
fiddle.
Yeah, exactly. I felt good giving something to someone else. as a lot of people give me stuff. So I felt like I was doing my bit back in the game. So, yeah, well
It's
done,
much
Ian.
appreciated. Just a few weeks' time when we're at GoFest, the three of us, we can all trade with each other as like friends.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Milo's like trading. Oh, Jesus.
But anyway,
have a break for this.
Milo's like, I'll trade all day, all week, all
Constantly.
the time. Do I really have to do it at GoFest?
Right, guys, we're going to play a game. Let's freshen things up a little bit. Right, so I've got here my Pokemon calendar, right? Last time I changed,
So it's a very lovely fennekin on there.
Yeah, well, that was actually the 29th of April, which ironically was 2 weeks ago when we were in here doing the podcast. We're going to do this every Tuesday now to keep the show fresh, something different. Guys, I want you to guess.
Is it a weekly calendar?
Yeah, it's a daily one.
Weekly?
Everyone's
Okay.
a day. Everyone's got a day on it. Right. So every Tuesday I'm going to reveal it, but I want you guys to guess what you think it is from a clue. I'm going to read the description on my calendar.
Can we expand his monitor so we can see in the reflection of his glasses?
Right. So so obviously I'm going to blank out the Pokemon name, but it says here, blank have different scents depending on the season. In early spring, these Pokemon give off a delicate, sweet and calming scent. It's a normal grass-type Pokemon, and we've recently had their shinies. Oh, Ian is the winner! It's Dealing! Ian! Look at his face, look at his smiling.
That's cute, isn't it? Dealing's cute.
Is very happy.
There we go. And we will be doing that again next Tuesday, and forever Tuesdays more. So,
Lovely.
There you go. Sorry, Ian. Carry on.
So basically, that is the original version of What the Ducklet. It's the original version of What the Ducklet before Milo decided to go left field.
Yeah, keeping it fresh, aren't we?
We can now say we're an educational podcast.
Yeah, but we weren't that before, were we? So we're changing our tune.
No. Anyway, let's rewind. Community Day was last Sunday. We haven't talked about it yet. Yes. Now, we know Mark played a very, very savage game with Ash. And we know that Milo went and got like 1 million of them. Well, let's talk about our Pawmi Community Day experiences.
Yeah, well, Milo's would be cut and
Milo looks
paste.
a bit like Pawmi, don't you think?
He's got that look about him. He's got that salmon pinky look about him.
It's like when he's like that.
That's the raw skin from the hay fever.
Oh, Milo. Oh, bless you.
But it is like a Pawmi pink. Like, genuinely, it was.
So, listen, love a new Pokemon. I think, as we said when this was announced, bit of a surprise. Came round quickly, as most weekends seem to be now.
It was only, 2 weeks, wasn't it, since the last Con Day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was tail end of April 27th.
It was, yeah.
Wasn't it?
2 weeks ago, yeah, there you go.
It was. I don't dislike Sundays, but I do prefer Saturday Con Days. But hey, listen, by the
agreed.
by, it came round and I had fun with it. It was a bit savage, like you said, Ian. As we're creeping into GoFest season, I don't want loads of shinies sat in my thing that are just repetitive.
You're thinking storage. Thinking storage ahead of time.
And no one needs loads of shiny Pawmis in their storage.
Except Newcombs, because didn't he get like about 30 of those damn things?
Possibly. Haven't watched his vlog and
the Shundo.
You got Shundo, he didn't he?
I'm sure that will crop up later.
So anyway, we played it savage. I played with Ash. We played for about an hour and a half in total. That's about all I played over the thing. But an hour of it, we went savage. Guess the star rating, but we both had to guess each other's.
Oh, that's a tough game.
Yeah, I mean, it was whoever held the most shinies after an hour were deemed the winner. And after an hour, I had one shiny Pawmi in my collection, and Ash had 3. So he had his shiny family after an hour. Oh, we guessed each other's, and I was guessing more of his correctly, and he was guessing a lot more of mine not correctly. Thank you, Ash, you monkey.
I think I'd be terrible at playing that game because I'd just say 0 star, 0 star for every shiny.
I wish you'd done that. I wish you'd done that.
Probably on the money.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I wish you'd done that because all the ones I deleted were 0 stars. And but he was going like 1 star, 0 star. There was one, and I looked at it and I was like, "How's that not 1 star?" It's like a 5, 10, 7, 10, 4. And it was still 0
on the
star.
level of it, you can never gauge what star it is from its CP.
No, it's properly. That's why it's just a luck game.
Yeah.
So
it's brutal.
So there we go. That was it. So finished with 5 after the whole session of playing it, but got my first ever background shiny.
Smashing.
Nice. Well done. GG's.
And loved the walk 1 kilometre.
Did you post it to Shiners of the Week?
No.
Hosts are not allowed to do this.
I know, we've discussed that many times over the years.
Yeah, so there we go. Shiny background, 3-star, fully evolved, took advantage of the 1 kilometre instead of 25, and it's in there. And another community day made with memories that we can see.
And speaking of
going
the
off into
reduced walking distance, it is actually great. I've got to take my hat off to Niantic, giving you the reduced walk distance for a whole week after the community day is amazing. Really is good.
That's one of the best updates, and they've been doing it more recently with this year's community days of having the ability to evolve to the move extended for the whole week afterwards. And yeah, the walking reduction thing was a top quality choice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really.
Go on, Milo. So you got 87 of the little pink salmon things.
It's funny you say that you finished your first hour with one shiny. That's what it sort of felt like for me. It was a very, very slow start to the community day. I think after 45 minutes, I had one shiny. I was thinking, oh dear, this is not good. Yeah, so eventually the luck started coming through sort of towards the final hour, which was great, but I don't mind shiny Pawmi. I think it's a new Gen 9 shiny. Something with maybe Vanillite. I already had those shinies. We discussed that. But if it's a new shiny and it's only just been debuted on the com day, I want to try and get as many as I can do. And then I can choose to throw them away afterwards, personally. Very happy, like Marky, nabbed a background shiny from the special research on stage 1, which was awesome. I think it was a mediocre 3-star, but that's the shiny that got evolved. It's the Might Mastery background on shiny Pawmi. It's quality. It was just a nice calm day in the sun, apart from the fact that, I was slowly sneezing myself to death over the course of the day. Nothing could be helped with that, unfortunately. Not even
it could have called antihistamine.
You don't think I took? I'll tell you how much I took: 240 milligrams of antihistamine, which is like a serious amount more than you're supposed to be doing. Recommended. I could say more. We may not survive the com day.
You won't be sneezing though. I might not be breathing, Ian.
As Ian says, we don't tend to mention our personal content, but I did finish a proportion of that community day with tissue stuck up my nose. Just I couldn't be bothered to take it out for every single shot, because it's like, it's better to have a tissue shoved up your nose than to have
talked about the clock's nose tampon.
Sometimes it's necessity. And yes, this weekend, once again, it was actually required. So I enjoyed the com day. I honestly forgot. I think it was a hatch bonus, wasn't it? Something
yes,
like that. Quarter egg distance.
Yeah.
Completely as typical. We forgot about that bonus. The walk 1 kilometer was brilliant. I'd already walked my hundo I got from like 2 years ago. I didn't expect that to come through when the announcement was released. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't have to bother with that. But it was great for evolving the shiny on the day. And I still see tons of people on the friends list with their shiny Pawmis walking them.
Absolutely.
Great choice for Com Day. Bring on more Gen 9, please.
Yes, and hopefully we'll find out what next month's Community Day is soon, but obviously that's going to be later next month.
It will be.
May, June, it should be.
It's June, it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
What about you, Vasa? How was your hamster hunt?
Yeah.
It was a great little Community Day. Now, I think it's safe to say that Mark and I are these days a lot more casual playing the game than you are. I played the Community Day for 2 hours, and that was more than enough. And I think I've kind of now just realised that there's no point just pretending you're grinding when you have very little interest. So I went out and just played the event, took my time, chilled out. I finished the day on a healthy number of shinies. No background shinies, so I'm not in that club, unfortunately. However, I did get the shiny Pawmot from the ticketed research.
Oh, they got the evolve thing.
Oh, nice.
So
that's cool.
That in itself was pretty good. My shiny look, as I mentioned about Mark's game, predominantly all 0-star ones. I think I've got a few 1 or 2 stars, but only 1 3-star shiny, which is the one I evolved. And the weather was great. The ice creams were cold. The soft drinks were cold. I actually had a pretty lucky day in terms of like the D-Max Suicune as well, which we touched upon earlier. So, but I don't feel the urge these. And maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't feel the urge to necessarily play the whole 3 hours anymore. I think 2 hours is more than enough. And I'm thinking back a couple of years ago and was all crying about 6-hour community days. Now they're not a thing anymore. But I was done after 2 hours. I was sufficiently satisfied with what I'd got and the day.
Well, I mean, we know that you're not the Stammers specialist. But
it depends what we're talking about.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
A reoccurring comment that you've been making about communities. I think it says a lot about the standard of the community days, and we touched on the things that were in 2024, is that the vast majority were undesirable things. And we were talking about this one of the weekends we were together, where you used to look at Community Day like the absolute pinnacle of the month. It was the event to play, and now it sort of more just feels like a general meetup. If you've got a community, you can go and do community. You can play it for however long, because the Pokemon that get featured aren't crazy, and it's the point where I'm sat here. I'm somewhat hardcore player. I like to grind the game.
Yeah, Milo's on grinder here.
It's a new, it's a new shiny. It's cool. I'll try and get as many as possible. I don't necessarily care.
Actually, Milo thought that app was for Pokemon Go people that play the game a lot.
Yeah.
No, we don't deal with third party here.
Very good, Milo. Very good. Get back on track like that.
Yeah. We're all about the TOS here.
Yeah, absolute TOS.
But I mean, you look at, for example, this year.
There's not many Pokestops in this area that want to meet me. What's that all about? Sorry,
that's the flare system in Campfire. You go through Campfire and it eventually takes you to.
That's the community messaging him.
Brings a whole meaning to CA. Where was I going?
Cheeky.
Backtracking desperately. No, if you looked at, like, for example, Carablast and Shelmet Conde, we're all going, oh my god, it's the first two Pokemon Community Day, but it really is that.
In retrospect, it wasn't that.
Is that
special.
the hypest thing to be going on? It's like, yes, it's something different, but it's not exactly the most revolutionary thing on the planet. We throw it back to when they used to bring out pretty meta-relevant Pokemon. That's where it got to the point where Community Day Classics were more significant than the normal Community Days.
Maybe I'm in the minority, and don't get me wrong, I love Machop. This Community Day Classic,
I'm sort of with you.
Oh, do I really need? I'm thinking 1 hour, and if it's not 3-star or above, I'm just going to transfer the shiny because I don't. I love Machop, I love Machamp, but I don't need more 0-star shinies in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you've got to have that viewpoint, though. I know, Vasa, you don't like to transfer shinies.
I'm getting more used to it now that I'm struggling with storage space again.
Yeah, like, I've just sort of grown accustomed to it. It's like, okay, if I've got more than X amount of them, I'll throw them
12.
away quite
12 is the
happily.
limit I'll keep for any shiny.
Fair enough. But I say Cobbler Classic Machop gets so heavily featured on everything anyway, and it's been around for since day one.
So I think that's a fairly thorough, padded out recap of the last week. So
Yeah, well done, guys.
Yeah, well done, guys.
I thought
Let's
so.
talk about some old news.
Is the news.
It is very old news at this point, but it's extremely significant, and I think, as Vasa has described, it will probably develop into quite an interesting conversation. We should get lots of opinions on this one, which is great. But on the 7th of May, an update was released from Pokemon Go. Updates to Pokemon Go's Shadow, Raids, and Max Battles. To cut a long story short, you guys know what it is. 3 major things got changed. Actually, it's 7 p.m. on Tuesday for us in the UK,
Well, they're all
which is
staggered,
now.
aren't they? Some of the things are staggered. Yes.
But this is all about the raidy bits and pieces. So you can now remote shadow raids, regardless of if it's in an event or not, which is, I think, really, really good. And that was strongly received from, the Shadow Ho-Oh raid weekend.
Absolutely. That was when it was trialed. And that bonus became effective literally today as we're recording this. We're recording this on a Tuesday. And that bonus became effective today at 11 a.m. PDT.
Yeah. So it's not quite with starting with the Crown Clash, I think. It's a little bit beforehand, but it's gone live today, which is fantastic. So you can just remote raid shadows, which solves the whole problem of shadow exclusivity for legendaries and things like that. The other thing that came into effect when we're recording this is the remote raid cap per day has been increased from 5 to 10.
And the community have been screaming for this since, well, let's be honest.
Since it got nerfed.
Since, what was it, Ho and Tour?
Yeah.
When we heard that they were being nerfed to 5, and everyone was like, no, we want 10, we want 15, we want 20. But everyone was saying 10 would be a nice medium.
Yeah.
And finally, after, 3 years, we've got the increase to 10.
2 and a bit years, something like that. The final change, which is happening before G-Max Machamp Battle Day, so May the 19th, and again, it's at 11 a.m. PDT, so for us in the UK, that's 7 p.m. You're going to be able to remote battle Max Battles, and there's a couple of requirements in this, which we'll go through. So basically, you're going to have to use the Max Particles to do the battle that are required, and use one of the remote raid passes. Now, this is probably why they've expanded it from 5 to 10, because if they're adding more remotable battle methods, it'd be quite daft to keep it at 5. that's basically the major change, really, is that that's coming into effect and will stay in effect for the foreseeable future. And there'll also be an increase from particles that you can collect and hold during the course of a single day. It's going up from 1,000 to 1,500. That's basically it.
That is pretty much it. But don't forget to, and I love this, Niantic, to encourage people to do in-person max battles. Those of you that do actually decide to get your carcasses out and do these in person, you will get more premiables and XP.
Do you know what? Actually, after the bloody Dynamax Legendary Battle Weekends, what they still don't give you a single golden raspberry when you do a D-Max Legendary. You think, what the bloody hell are you doing? Seriously. Because these D-Max Legendaries, I found, you need to use about 15 per battle. It's crazy. But yeah, there you go.
So it is just Dynamax you can remote. It's not Gigantamax.
No, Gigantamax as well.
Wow. So ahead of Match Up G-Max Day, we can remote raid them.
Yes, you'll be able to. The only thing I have, and again, I'm sure people have thought about this, is it's going to be quite tricky in as much as you will obviously need to hopefully figure out. You're not going to know who's in what team with you, and you're not going to know who's going to be the tank, the healer. So it could be trickier in some ways if you're not there in person.
Yeah, it will be incredibly difficult, I think, to coordinate if you're, for example, one person locally and everybody else is remote. Because we know it's not the case like 5-star raids. You can just spam the attack move. You have to be a little bit coordinated. But from recent experiences, I've found that if you've got the right counters and you've got a decent number of people, you don't necessarily have to worry about dropping out too much. It's when you're in smaller numbers, like you're dealing with maybe 10 players, some people are lower level, some people don't have counters.
That's a good point, actually. Normally for a raid, I mean, obviously G-Max battles are different, but normally for a raid, you can invite up to 10 other trainers. If you can only invite 10 people to a G-Max battle, you might struggle on some of these mons.
Yeah. So
I think they'll let you invite more per chunk, maybe.
I can't remember if we've seen clarification on this, but what was clarified with the people who developed the feature is that you will be able to invite people and you will be able to see D-Max and G-Max battles on the friends list, and you can join using that function as well, which is great. However, it does bring up one serious problem, which I've seen a lot of the people in the community spaces and indeed the creative space labeling. We already have the issue with, if you crash out of the raid, which happens a lot with Pokemon Go at the moment, and you've gone through the friends list, you lose your remote pass. Basically, gone. Good luck.
If the raid or battles despawn, then bye-bye.
No. You won't be able to rejoin if you haven't been invited to it.
Oh.
So if you're invited, somewhat okay.
But if you're joining from the
friends list and you crash out, goodbye remote pass. That gets eaten. It's worth saying that gets eaten into the location until you've either completed and won the battle or the battle despawns.
Yeah. And so, remember, G-Max, only 30-minute cycles for a lot of the time.
Yes, so it will be very worthwhile to be careful. I strongly exercise caution on this new feature because, yes, it may be a replication of a feature that exists in the game, but we know the development team have their ways.
And this is all done in good faith. They really are trying to benefit. Certainly, like Marg, like a former rural player, they are trying to benefit people that struggle to do these battles and shadow raids.
Yeah, they do. And like I said about jumping in and cutting into their ear, and like I was just going to say that. It's all right to say ease caution, like you said, which is obviously what we say, because there'll be people that have never done one of these, and they're just going to be like going ham on it. They're going to be going ham on it. Like when Snorlax appeared, like in remote raids, everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, this feature's amazing." I think that's brilliant because the likelihood is you're going to get the numbers on these G-Max. If you see people on your friends list in them, the likelihood is multiple people are in the same G-Max raid if you've got multiple people on the same friends list. I think, from a side of caution, as a starting point, it's probably worth making sure there's at least 24 people minimum in it if you're remoting into it. Because, like you say, it might be less at a time, but like I've seen it in in-person ones when you're coordinating, you still need around that to be comfortable. So I think in remoting, if you haven't got you can't talk tactics.
You can't talk with other people in your group necessarily.
So I think you're probably going to need maybe a buffer, but we'll work it out, won't we? Like with all these things, we'll work it out. And
when GMAX first dropped, we'll struggle through the first few. And eventually you kind of figure it out. And something Sue said, and it's a very valid point, and actually is going to benefit a lot of people in that people are now not going to be as picky with what raids they do as opposed to ignore, because you've got 10 a day, not 5. So you are going to be able to be a little less picky and help people, as Milo would say, lower level trainers potentially.
Absolutely.
Potentially. I think it also just opens up the floor. Like 5 remotes per day always felt so restrictive. And that's why I was like, oh my God, the raid cap is increased to 20 for this event, or it's unlimited for tours and GOFests and Go Wild. And they're hype. But I always thought it's like, if you have a good raid boss that you want to chase, or something interests you, like maybe you're interested in the Nido King and Queen crown costumes, having 10 remotes per day to chase on that, you can say, I want to put my Pokecoins into this. But then the next one that comes around, for example, hey, I don't care for Tapu Bulu when it comes around, so I won't do that.
Absolutely.
It just opens accessibility and choice. And what's wrong with having more choice?
It does. And speaking of choice, I don't know if we covered this. I don't think we did. For the GMAX Machamp Battle Day, the remote raid limit will increase to 20.
Yes.
And
brilliant.
That will be from Saturday, May 24th at 5 p.m. right through to Sunday the 25th at 8 p.m.
So you'll be able to do what you could do for a raid day, standard raid day, which is brilliant, I think. I hope a lot of people have fun with it and get their GMAX maybe for the first time. GMAX Machamp is a brilliant one to drop this on, really, because it's such a good design, good shiny. It's actually going to be very, very usable. There was one thing that I tried to get clarification on, and I never got a response on it just yet, is, for example, a remote raid, if you get invited to a raid but the host has either jumped out or hit ready on the button, you can't get in. How is it going to function with GMAX or DMAX? Do you need to be in the same lobby of 4 as the player, like the person who's invited you?
I would think not. It must be on
I'd
the
hope
gym.
not.
Yeah.
Because if you are, there's still no private lobbies.
No.
Private lobbies are not on the nearby vicinity of coming to the game
Niantic
just
did
yet.
say it was something that was looking, but it's not on the horizon at the moment.
It's been the most requested feature, I think, regarding DMAX and GMAX stuff from certainly CAs.
Yeah.
But if it's not, how on earth are you supposed to coordinate and try and get your invites in without the lobby filling up with bits and pieces like that?
It's got to be on the power spot. It cannot be on the team, because the chance of you jumping in randomly with the same 3 other people, it's not going to happen.
It's going to be crazy, but there won't be the overflow.
Yeah, but all they'll do, Milo, is they'll probably just have a maximum amount of groups that can go into a remote raid on a GMAX one. So for all we know, and again, I know you guys know a little bit more about it than myself, but it might be that it says a maximum of you're the host, you remote raid, or it goes on your friends list. You can have 100 people take part in it. It might have a limit of 100, and as all these
normally,
people,
unless they up the limit, well, 40 trainers. Yeah,
let's say 40 then, like you said, but because that's 100, that's 120 Pokemon, isn't it? So it might be that literally lobby will be full at 40. So it'll be remote raid, and they'll just put them all in it, and like you said, it'll just be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. If it divvies them up, that would be brilliant, I hope.
Personally, excited by it. Hopefully, loads of people get their first, as the boys have said already, their first Gigantamaxes, and we roll with it, don't we? It's accessibility, and I think people that don't get a chance to do it full stop maybe will forgive losing a raid pass in the process if they do get 1 or 2 of them trying it out. I'm not saying people want to lose stuff because of the game crashing, but I think it'll be a risk that a lot of people are probably going to take. Is going to give people the first chance to try this. If you haven't got a community,
and if you've got friends in decent-sized communities, the chances are there's going to be numbers there. So that then comes to the next thing: is like you say, if it caps out and people can't get in, then it's going to be like when
I'm hoping that I've thought this through in terms of an X number of people. Like you'll probably be able to invite 10, just like raids.
Yep.
So it only comes down to if you've got a completely full lobby.
If you've got a completely full lobby, yep.
Yeah.
But Milo, for example, if you're sorry to cut in there, but like Milo, for example, so me, Ian, and you have multiple people on our friends lists, And it might be that you invite 10 people and they go into it. And then on our friends list, they all appear as at this raid. Then we click on one of them. It's like that chain event, isn't it, of getting more people into that raid? Because I've had it before where you click on it and like 3 people are showing us they're in a raid, but they're all in the same raid. You see them in the lobby when you get into the raid through hopping into one of them on the friends list. So I don't think you have any issues.
I think for Wild Area, you could daisy chain them, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That was the initial release of that feature, wasn't it? And you
Yeah.
could just jump in infinitely, which it's a shame you can't do that. It's great for
That would be great.
It was a great facility, but no, that won't be possible. It's
Why?
like, for example,
why won't that be possible? Have they
because
said
you can't do it. You can't do it with raids.
You can't do it anymore. No.
So, for example,
I didn't know that.
if the lobby for a raid is completely full and you want to join through the friends list, it will show you a 0 on the raid lobby, and you won't be able to join the lobby itself. So that will probably be the case with GMAX,
Unless they increase the lobby to a bigger number, and then you
they increase the lobby size, absolutely. But there's wise words in terms of numbers and things like that, because again, we've seen from organized meetups of people going around, it's like, who's got what counters, that sort of thing. You still have people bringing in like the low level
You've still got people bringing in a Grookey or something.
Well, at this point, I'm sure you've got enough candy to evolve it at least, but if you're trying to do that now remotely, definitely make sure you've got yourself a decent number of people to attempt to take it down, and it will require, I would think, a fairly decent sized group of people in person. So hopefully this means that the local communities that have been working on this and getting this sort of stuff going really well can then expand that to the global community and bring people in remotely and help everyone out, because that's kind of what it seems this is all about, really.
Yeah. I think the other parting shot with this really is like, I understand where CAs sit on it. I'm fortunate or unfortunate, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. Like, I don't have a CA where I am. So, on a negative, we haven't got anyone who's pulling all this together to try and build a community. I understand why CAs are coming out saying this is damaging to the game. For me, selfishly, I'm going, this is absolutely fantastic, because I don't have a CA in my area. But I understand those people that work tirelessly to try and balance it for everybody, where they'll be going, well, all that hard work I put in, I'm potentially going to lose a percentage of them now because they travel 10 miles down the road to join our community, and they're probably not going to need to now. So I understand it from both sides, where potential established communities might start to lose a percentage because people only do it because they can't access it any other way, not necessarily because of the community.
And I get that, but looking at it from both sides of the sort of coin, Milo and I were on like a Zoom call. It was overwhelmingly positive, but Niantic aren't trying to take away from in-person communities, but there's always that global community.
I was just going to say that.
What's that?
They'll give you extra Premier Balls, Ian.
Exactly. And XP.
And XP.
But there is also the other side of that coin, where we built up global communities over such a long period of time, and that was lost when all these nerfs came in. Now, I, for one, will do the remotes, but equally, for GMAX Machamp, I'll be there at the local park doing them in person. So
exactly.
It wouldn't take the in-person aspect away from me. It would only enhance it.
Increase. Yeah. I agree.
Well, hopefully others will be there with you, Ian, because if you're in the park on your own, it might sort of...
I've got 39 remotes here.
I'm there alone.
There is another way they're incentivizing you to not necessarily miss out on the in-person experience with a GMAX or DMAX, is that you won't be able to obviously collect your max particles remotely from power spots.
Yep.
So if you go in person, you're actually able to get the, for example, ticket bonus stuff, or you'll get your 1600 free for the event, and you'll actually be able to get the stuff
very
free.
Bristoli then. 1600 free.
You can pick up your 1600 particles.
Well done.
And that'll be all right.
Well done, Milo.
Basically, that's going to function exactly the same way as, a raid day with the orange free passes. Is if you don't visit the gym physically, you won't get the free passes. So yes, you can do a remote raid day only, but you won't take advantage of the free benefits that are coming
you'll have
with
to buy the particles and the remote passes.
And the remote passes, and it can get quite spenny.
Anyway, there is somewhere where I won't be alone in just a few weeks. Boys, it's that time of the show.
Just tell me about you, mate. Just what's going on?
So this week we're going to do getting to know you a little bit differently. And GOFest Jersey is in literally just 3 weeks' time. In fact, in 3 weeks' time, it'll pretty much be over. But I'm not going to steal any thunder here, so over to you, boys.
And we have no thunder to give.
Well, you do, because you have some news, don't you?
We have news? Don't be ridiculous. No, it's quite awesome that this is now a possibility. Various different circumstances and things have arisen which allow this to be a possibility. But with New Jersey, it's going to be all of us in, well, Liberty State Park, but also hopefully in Manhattan. And I can't quite believe this, but Marky is going to be flying in a westerly direction.
Play the jingle. Play the jingle. Play the jingle.
What is it? No, the jingle doesn't work anymore. It has no meaning.
Bye-bye, jingle.
I ain't getting on no airplane, and that's it.
Done. We'll delete it off the soundboard now.
Gone.
It's gone.
I don't think we should delete it until we see if he flies west more than once.
Oh, wait. I'll go to Ireland. I'll fly to Ireland. That's west.
Technically, yes, by compass. But
No,
It is.
you boys are coming.
it's fantastic.
You finally got your carcasses and schedules in shape, and you're joining me, Sue and Francesco, in Jersey.
Josie. I'm honestly so stoked that Marky is coming to America for the first time. That's the best thing. Is
Yeah, it is.
all five of us will be together in the States for the first time in however many years we've been doing this.
5 years almost.
So I've never been to America. I've flown into America and gone off on a cruise, into the Bahamas and that, but I've not been. That was very young then, mind you. I'm talking nearly 40 years ago.
I thought you said like when you was nearly 40. I'm like, that's not long ago.
No. Thank you, Ian. You're lovely. You are sometimes, I tell you. But no. First time.
Francesco said his Mark taking Concorde.
Maybe back then I did. I can't remember.
Actually, Francesco, no, Mark's taking Boom.
Yeah, brilliant for us all. It's going to be great. And actually really looking forward to meeting our predominantly American listeners who have got involved with the show over the last sort of 2-3 years and have been very much responsible for sending messages into us on the show, in the in-person events you guys have been to. I think for us, being there and hopefully getting a chance to meet some people, come and find us. It'll be fantastic. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Like I said, first time in America. I've got a very simple wish list of things to do, and let's see if I can do them.
We'll be
I
ticking
think
your
there's like
bucket
4
list
or
off.
5 things on your list. It wasn't a lot, which is actually good news. But we will be recording the show out there, boys, and we'll do the usual. We'll announce what's happening, where we'll be, and when. Yeah.
Now we have to. And honestly, it'd be so good, so good. And great to go back to the States.
I love New York. East Coast, West Coast, that seems to be our lives these days, but looking forward to that one. Which leads us into today's getting to know you question. So we've just had Jersey's literally 3 weeks ago, and now you've both managed to clear your schedules. You've managed to sort out some travel, so you are going to join me, Sue and Francesco.
And now, children, it's time for getting to know you, the Incest Podcast.
The segue took that long. So you two, across the 2 GOFests that we'll all be going to, what are you looking forward to the most for Jersey and Paris?
God, Marky, go for New Jersey or New York first, because that's new territory for you.
Yeah. Obviously, playing the game's going to be nice. I've just got a handful of things I want to see in the flesh in New Jersey, New York. It might not be the touristy things that people would expect me to say, but I want to savour Central Park, and I'm not on about necessarily the densely touristic parts of it. Even if it means just sitting on a bench and having 10 minutes just to feel it and watch people walk by and that. I want to sample that and just get lost in my. Yeah, I want to get lost in my head. I want to get lost in my head for a few minutes and be that person watching people just walk by. I've seen it in the films all the time.
Yeah,
I want to experience that.
And we'll have the weather, boys, as well. We will definitely have the weather.
Fantastic. So that's one thing. I want to have a coffee in an American diner. So I like the idea of just having someone going up
Starbucks
with a jug.
serve.
Yeah, no, but I want to go to a diner. I want to have someone come with a glass jar of coffee and just go, do you want a coffee? Yeah, love it. Pour it in and go, is it still warm enough? Yeah, that'll do, sort of thing.
Breakfast every day is going to be in a diner, let's be honest.
Yeah, so never done a diner before, want to do that. And obviously I want to have some of Ian's pizza, some of his dollar pizza, so that'd be quite nice. So that's the food bit.
Dollar pizza, but there's also another pizzeria that I want you to go to as well, which we went to last year, which... It's gone up. It's $1.50 now. But yeah, I'll have to see if there's good dollar pizza near where we're staying, because we're potentially not staying anywhere near where we stayed last year because we need to be closer to New Jersey.
Yeah, I want to go to Times Square.
Yes. Yeah.
You
want to see the naked cowboy, don't you?
I don't know what that means, but yeah, whatever that is.
Quite self-explanatory. Trust me, it's a sight to behold.
So I just want to stand there and just absorb it. Like, a lot of this is just going to be sensory feelings, actually, because like the moments that I don't know when I'm going to do them again. It's taken so many years to get to this point in my life, and I want to just savor that and just feel people bustling past. I just want to be there and just see it and feel it. You can probably tell there's very little Pokemon Go being played when I do these things as well, which is going to be quite nice. I want to see it all and absorb it all. So they're the place I want to go to. You know, I would love to. I'm not bothered about the retail, the shops, not bothered about the things that everyone talks about, like the Statue of Liberty and Empire State Building. None of that really excites me. But if there's one thing I do want to go to, and it's a bit of a geek off because I do love the Netflix series You. I've watched it from start to finish. I would love to go to Logos bookstore in New York in a yellow cab and just go and see it and then get a yellow cab back. So that'd be quite a nice little bit. It's about 6 miles out of the centre, but that's where they filmed You, bits of the TV series. And I just want to go there and actually walk in it and buy a book in there. And actually, even though it's a TV series, if anyone's seen it, you know, say it in the comments. It's a fantastic series. Just concluded on Netflix now, but really enjoyed it. And when I realised it was that close, I was like, yeah. And that's what I want to do. You know, I mean, a lot of it will be playing Pokemon Go and us just chilling, hanging out, you know, being us. But if I can tick those things off, and like we talked about the Ghostbusters building, which is not far as well. Yeah, I want to see that as well. So, you know, I'm quite confident a lot of these things can be done in a day as well. Do you know what I mean? Certainly 2 or 3 of these things can be done in a day.
A few Ubers here and there, it could be done in a day, yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. It's quite a long list, actually, but no, that's it. That's the list. But, yeah, guys, come on then. What when you first went to America, like, I know it's been a while. I know you guys are used to do these trips. Like, is there anything you haven't done going to New Jersey? You actually go, this time I'd like to do this. We've talked about it, but we haven't done it yet. Is there anything left, or
I don't know? Because obviously for Vassar and me, this is now the third round of ending up going to particularly Manhattan. We may do a little bit of New Jersey as well, but I'm not 100% sure. We've seen and done quite a lot of bits and pieces over those various different adventures, and some bits I'd like to repeat. You know, obviously Central Park is massive. I would like to make my way around there again. And it's a great place to go and play. But I'm just honestly really looking forward to soaking in the event and the atmosphere. Hopefully not in the complete sweat box like it was last year.
Yeah, I don't want it to be swampy, but it could be warm.
We're going a month earlier. Like, again, every year it's gone a month earlier than it has done before, pretty much. So I'm honestly just really looking forward to the whole vibe there. And I will probably do the 5 a.m. raids again.
Of course you will.
What do you mean, probably?
Yes. So that's my New Jersey, New York kind of thingy. What about you, Vassar?
This will be my 4th or 5th time in New York. I keep saying New York, but the GOFest is Jersey.
But we're doing city experience really in Manhattan, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we'll probably will do because in New York for the GOFest, they've said that the city exhibits will be in sort of Jersey City and the 5 boroughs of New York. So I think in terms of gameplay, Manhattan is probably where we're going to want to be at.
Nice.
And I can't say there's nothing I want to see, but I want to see New York vicariously through Mark seeing it for the first time, because I wouldn't say I'm numb to it because I love it. It's completely like stimulating and a great place. But when you go with somebody that's never been there before, I think that'll bring a new aspect.
Reinvigorate.
To it. Yeah. So for me, it's more just sort of seeing Mark in awe of how big Times Square is. And
Ian, I just want to sit down on the grass in Central Park and have a hot drink. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing for a bit of time. Just stuff like that.
Actually, there's a nice big Apple store near Central Park, which we might have to take you to convert you.
That's not a bag at all.
That's not.
Is there an Android store opposite?
I walk out with a new iPhone.
there probably is a Samsung store somewhere. But no, Central Park, again, I've not spent nearly enough time in Central Park. And that place is huge. Seriously, we could spend a week in there and probably not see it all. So Central Park is definitely going to be a fun thing. And I didn't do the 5M raids in Central Park with Whitfield last year, so I can tell you now, I won't be this year either. I'm going to be sleeping.
Do you know what I am looking forward to doing, though, the most out of it, is getting the most out of every day, without killing myself. But what I mean is by that is like, I'm looking forward to when we fly over there, staying up on the time zone there just to get. So I go to bed at a normal time.
It's an experience overall, isn't it, for you?
But and then get up at sort of a bit early than I normally would in the morning. So like, certainly on that first morning, I'm probably going to want to get up at like 6 o'clock, 7 in the morning, even though my body might not want me to. I want to get up and I want to just get out and see things before it gets hustle and bustly and busy and crazy and just see the city come to life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So a couple of bits in the chat, and I don't know if you two have seen this. So Sue said, IHOP for breakfast. We do need to take you to IHOP, Mark. That is just next level.
You guys are leading me on this. I'm going to be led by you.
Francesco said, B2B, whatever that means, GOFest with the full squad will be amazing. It will. The 5 of us at a GOFest in the States, and then the following week in Paris.
Back-to-back maybe, and back-to-back GOFest. Yeah.
We should revisit a lot of the places that we have done over the last 2 years, really, and just the fact that we've got Marky there as well. I mean, we should all go back to the Edge. We should all go to these different places, seriously.
And we've got to fit it in quite a short window of time, but quickly, because we're starting to run long, and really we've not really talked about too much tonight. But Paris, I'll start.
Paris.
I'm looking forward to, firstly, seeing Paris, never been, but I want to see the touristy things. So Arc de Triomphe, Eiffel Tower, just the general touristy stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to take us all to the Moulin Rouge. That'd be good fun. Maybe for an afternoon coffee before it gets a bit too seedy over there. Joke aside, the Moulin Rouge is a stunning building. Well, I mean, I like Ian said, I've not been to Paris for 30 years. About 30 years. It's a beautiful city. Architecture's stunning. I was very lucky to see the Notre Dame before it burnt down there when I was out there. So it's been rebuilt now. You've got the what's the museum out there called?
The Louvre.
The Louvre. I went to the Louvre. Saw the little stamp painting of the Mona Lisa on the wall
before it got vandalised.
Yeah, before it did. But I would happily do any of that again. I think Paris is an amazing city that just doesn't go to sleep.
Absolutely. And I think when it comes to Paris, we'll again announce all of our meetup recording details and all that thing in the upcoming. But before we go to Whitfield and what he's looking forward to Paris, Francesco's name in the chat this week is Fran Castle. Now, I'm taking that to mean that he wants to go to White Castle and try some sliders in Jersey or New York.
He's got some shiny sandy castles, I reckon.
It's nothing to do with it. It's nothing to do with that. I think it's to do with White Castle.
Yeah.
You chose poorly.
You chose poorly. I love that scene of How I Met Your Mother. Oh,
so good. So good.
So come on, Whitfield, bring this one home.
All right, for Paris, I haven't been to Paris in 20 years either, so a long time since I've visited. And seeing a city, seeing a new location through the eyes of a content creator, that is something I'm very excited to do, is always go to a new place and bring the video elements and everything like that to whatever we're doing.
And I'm going to steal your B-roll because your steady shot is now brilliant.
Exactly. So I'm very excited about that. But also, I'm very excited about having the totally authentic, cheeky pain au chocolat. Honestly,
the old Whitfield classic.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. Now, that's what it's labelled in America, which is just very, very weird.
Chocolate croissant.
I'm probably going to come back on the Eurostar, and I'll have to book an extra luggage just for the weight I've put on over the course of the weekend. But no, bring me some...
You're talking smack about my weight.
Baguettes.
He's a nightmare, isn't he?
He's a nightmare. BYOB. Anyone come to GOFest in Paris?
Bring your own baguettes. We will let you know, obviously, what on earth we've got planned. But let's just say, if you're a fan of the show, if you've been listening for a while, you know our thoughts on GBL. We'll leave it at that.
And BYOB.
Doesn't matter the length. Well, maybe.
Pardon?
Think about the crustiness of...
Oh, family friendly, Milo. Come on.
Anyway, moving on. Marky was the victor last week. By hook or crook. So he is tonight's Game Lord. And what are you bringing for us, boyo?
Guys,
Noise.
We're going back behind the bins because we have got a pub quiz.
Have you lost your front door
We're
key?
talking about Paris again.
Welcome, trainers.
We're at the dog.
What's the
pub? What's the pub called again?
The Dog Inn.
The Dog Inn. But yes, I threatened it last week. There's a cock there. I threatened it last week.
It could have been.
But yes, I've got. Could have been a hen in. My ears don't lend to it. It could be either gender.
I think the pub name is the Cock Inn.
The Cock Inn. Yeah, I like that. The Cock Inn.
I'm sure there's a pub called that.
I hope there
are
is.
pubs called that, surely.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have a go for a rebrand. The cock in. It might be that. So we've got a pub quiz. We got a pub quiz, and it is, of course, on the place that we mentioned very briefly. It's a Kazakhstan pub quiz.
Yes. Come on.
We'll bring you home. Oh, maybe. There's 6 questions, traditional pub quiz format. And I'm going to start with question 1. Multiple choice again. A, B,
Ian,
or
we're going to have to
C.
rip some music from Borat
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
make
to
it
back
work.
this pub quiz.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, very nice. The first question. I want to do it in the voice, but I can't. And what is the... No, I'm not doing that. That's not nice. What is the capital city of Kazakhstan? Is it A, Almaty? Excuse the pronunciations. Is it option B, Astana? Or is it option C, Shymkent? So,
Shankent.
Ian, I'll let you go first.
You know what? I'm going to have no idea with any of these answers, so I'm not even going to pretend to be thinking about them. A?
A for Vassar. Milo.
A clue I have not. I'm going to pick B. Literally,
If it don't go down the middle, Milo.
the
like that.
knowledge of Kazakhstan is that it's on a map.
Well, the second question. Is Kazakhstan on a map? I'm joking. Right.
Does it begin with K?
Does it begin with K? Right, so question number 2. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Kazakhstan? Is it A, China? Is it B, Russia? Or is it C, Iran? So which does it not share a border with? I'm going to go Milo first on this one.
I think I'll go for C on that one.
So you're going C for Iran. Ian.
I will go A, China.
For Ian on China. Question number 3. This will take us to the halfway point of the quiz already. Hey, crazy, isn't it? So,
My God.
Kazakhstan was part of which former union until 1991?
Welcome, trainers.
Was it A, the Ottoman Empire? Was it B, the Austro-Hungarian Empire? Or was it option C, the Soviet Union? Ian.
C?
Ian's going for the good old Soviet Union. I don't mean it's a good old place either. I'm just
Good old times.
good old times, Jesus. Milo, what are you going for?
I will go for C as well, I think. I can't remember if they used it for, rocket testing or something like that, because it was a big empty space.
Right, halfway through it then. So question number 4. What is the traditional Kazakh dish made from boiled meat and served with noodles called? So, is it beshbarmak? Is it plov? Or
Bless
is it... Thank you. Or is it lagman? So, what is a traditional Kazakh dish made from boiled meat and served with noodles called beshbarmak, plov, or lagman? Milo.
Honestly, don't. I feel like you just pick words and names from a Scrabble board. I will throw it to option A for no reason.
Milo has gone A. Very good. And Ian?
Option A does sound a little bit sort of Russian-y. But I'm going to go curveball. I think you might be playing it. I think it's plov.
For plov.
Love.
Just to let you know, in Kazakhstan, the song was called "I'm a Lag Man." Do you like that? It's the
I'm a
Scat
lag
Man.
man.
It was the Scat Man. Changed it to maybe mirror the dishes, or maybe not. Who knows? Right. I said to. Oh, boiled meat could be chicken, so sorry. Right, number 5. Which major space launch facility is located in Kazakhstan? Is it the Kennedy Space Center? Is it the Baikonur Cosmodrome? Or is it the Vostochny Cosmodrome? So, which major space launch facility is located in Kazakhstan? And I am going to go Ian again first on this one.
I think I would really just want to say A for jokes, but it's definitely not. So I'm just going to go B.
So Ian has gone B. Okie dokie. Milo.
And I think Ian's on the money with that one. Baikonur or whatever it's called. It rings a bell from a post-Clarkson Top Gear episode.
Pulls it out there. Maybe I've been foolish with my questions. Right, there we go. So last question. What is the name of the traditional Kazakh instrument with 2 strings? And it is often used in folk music.
I like Mark's Russian accent.
So, is it the dombra? Is it the komuts? or is it the balalaika? Balalaika, I like that. Do you like that? Balalaika, yeah, I like that. So, what is the name of the traditional Kazakh instrument with 2 strings, often used in folk music? Is it dombra, commas, or balalaika? Milo.
I'm just going to pick C because it sounds funny.
Milo.
No, balalaika. It's a
I was going to go
deconstructed
C as well,
guitar.
so I will stick with C as well. But I can tell Milo's putting quotes up on the screen, so he's not turned his chat off.
What do you mean? I'm on the soundboard.
No, but somebody put quotes up because Sue's.
It's a quote. I saw quotes pop up on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking at what they're writing. They're not putting answers in there. They're
they're
good.
not.
Thank you,
Normally,
God. They're not guessing
historically,
themselves.
Mind you,
Right.
it's a bit random.
They've got fine answers here, like Lachlan from Francastle.
Lachlan. Love it, love it, love it. Well, there we go. That
Francesco
concludes.
has a balalaika.
Maybe he does. We're going down the answer route. That is the conclusion of the Kazakhstan pub quiz.
I'm ready. Bring it on. Let's see.
So, question 1. What is the capital city of Kazakhstan? The answer is Astana, which is B. So that is 1-0 to Milo.
Oh my God. I
Milo
didn't remember
does
what I
watch
put.
a lot of Borat.
He does. He does.
I don't watch you for the factual representation.
Question number 2. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Kazakhstan? Yeah, you were both wise to avoid option B because Russia borders everything, doesn't it? I think it even borders Canada,
Does it
depending on what the
now?
sea level is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But it is Iran, which is C. So that is 2-0 to Milo.
Very nice.
Very nice. Question number 3. Kazakhstan was part of which former union until 1991? It is C, the Soviet Union. Both of you get a point, so that is 3-1 to Milo. Question number 4. What is the traditional Kazakh dish made from boiled meat and served with noodles called? It is the beshbamak. The beshbamak, which is A. And Milo is leading 4-1
Oh my God, I got that right?
after 4 questions. Now, I'm not going
This is fixed. Seriously, this is so fixed.
I'm not going to insult you by going, this is a valiant effort from both contestants right now.
This is so fixed. Either Milo's
Question.
been Googling the answers or you gave them before the quiz.
Hey, I didn't make the quiz.
I haven't DM marked since GMAX Snorlax.
I asked my wife to do the quiz for me. I outsourced it. Question number 5 for the integrity of the pub quiz. Question number 5. Which major space launch facility is located in Kazakhstan? It is the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Thank you, Top Gear.
So,
we did learn something.
ironically,
Actually, he did anyway. He knew it.
Yeah.
so that means it's 5-2 to Milo. We've
Oh my
never
God,
had.
is it going to be a full house?
We've never had a full house on a quiz before.
I think we have.
Have we?
Yeah, I think one of you guys got a full house on one of the Go Tour or pub quizzes for the GOFests.
Well, maybe we'll get another
Been a
one
while.
tonight.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Probably not. Come
So,
on.
question number 6. What is the name of the traditional Kazakh instrument with 2 strings often used in folk music called? It's the dombra, which is letter 8. So
The
both
comedy
of them
answer was wrong.
are wrong. Balalaika could have been a bit of meat. that one.
Balalaika.
Don't know. So the final score is 5-2 to Milo. A good effort from Milo, and Ian's learnt some bits about Kazakhstan. So that's a good result all round. It looks miffed, but we have got a tiebreaker. We don't need to like.
It's 5-2.
No, but we're not using. We always use the questions.
Come on,
It's
it's
an educational
facts.
thing. It's factual. So
The listeners.
to the nearest million, I'd
Okay.
like to know what is the population of Kazakhstan.
Oh,
So Milo, I'll let you go first,
okay.
as you technically.
Technically, there's no technically.
Technically,
I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry. Technically,
this is really a shot in the dark with this one. Honestly,
Technically.
Kazakhstan is a very, very large expanse of land. I just don't know how many. I know Borat's not actual fact; it's fiction. But do you hear much from the world of Kazakhstan?
You didn't know Borat's a character.
I just said it's fiction,
Fiction.
not fact.
Not fact.
Not fact. Fact not. I honestly have not a clue if it's a small population or a big population. Although Mongolia is the one that has like the fewest people per square 100 kilometers or something crazy. That's very, very spaced out. I will throw out there 30 million.
30 million.
30 million.
And Ian, higher and lower, and then, but what number are you going to go for?
I'm going to go higher because I genuinely don't know. But 30 million does seem quite a small number for a country. In my head, I was thinking 100 million, but you know what? I'm actually going to play this tactically. Not that it's going to get me a win or anything, but I'm going to go 31 million.
31 million, right. So before I reveal the answer, fun fact about Kazakhstan. In 2012, Kazakhstan experienced an embarrassing incident where a spoof of its national anthem from the movie Borat was played instead of the actual anthem during an award ceremony in Kuwait.
Oh, nice.
The spoof, which poked fun at Kazakhstan's culture, was played after Maria Dimitryenko, a Kazakh shooting champion, won a gold medal. This gaffe caused a diplomatic incident with a Kazakhstan officially complaining and demanding an investigation. And according to the Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty publication, the Asian Shooting Federation president later apologised and organisers claimed they had downloaded the anthem from the internet.
Oh, someone literally just found the first link. Yes, sure, that's my work done for the day.
It's got to be. It's trending. It must be that one. So, the answer then to what is the population of Kazakhstan? It's lower than 30 million.
What?
Actually, 20.33 million. But 20 million to the nearest million is the population of Kazakhstan as of 2023.
This is
so maybe
fixed.
But it doesn't
That's
change.
just the words of a sore loser.
It doesn't change the overall.
Right.
Ian, I'd love to if you'd gone higher. I'm going 100 million. I got, oh, Ian, don't.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I genuinely was thinking that.
Well, there we go. Hope everyone's learnt some stuff there on Kazakhstan. Milo is the Game Lord and hosts the game on my show. So
Yay.
there we go. What a trend we're keeping on
I'm
going.
going to find another obscure country.
But anyway, there we go. That is the quiz done. I think we've got to do some more informational bit now, haven't we, boys? Is that right?
Well, firstly, a stellar pub quiz. I'm very proud of you.
I would
Mikey, for
disagree.
Kazakhstan.
Noise.
Just because you didn't brush up on your Kazakhstanian.
Kazakhstani Ian.
You know what? When you're working 60 hours a week, Whitfield, let's see if you can revise on another country.
It's a revision. I knew one thing from a Talk Hero
You knew
episode.
6 things.
I did not. I guessed.
It's the biggest
Shot
fix
in the
in
dark.
history. It's the biggest fix.
I
think
Ian
you
is
do.
he's a sore great white shark.
He is. He's
Get him
out
some-
of
I'm
get him some
salty. That had
Vaseline.
nothing to do with anything. So salty.
Noise.
So salty. But we're actually going to bring it back to something that does have some relevance and context. It's time for the Counter Brothers.
We thought it'd be wise, considering obviously the chatter earlier with Remotable Max Battles and Gigantamax Machamp coming in a weekend's time on the Sunday, May 25th. Pay close attention, people. What are you going to want to take on this thing? But first up, what is the fantastic, perfect number you'll be wanting to see on your screen and hopefully catching? It will be 1746. There is no weather boost on Gmax or DMAX battles, so thankfully just one number combination to remember.
Dynamax matchup and get
Gigantamax.
Hold on, mine. I was going to just come into that. All
God, he's taking over
match
stuff, isn't he?
champs,
Bless him.
isn't he? All match champs, whatever variety, creed, and colour they are pure fighting type. Thank you, Milo.
Kazakhstan.
Which means that the Gmax one is, doesn't it, Marky? Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And being a fighting type, it's weak to fairy, flying, and psychic.
Do you want to pick 9 counters, Milo, and reel them off? I don't know.
We'll just sit here
I'm
quietly.
just not going to contribute now. You two, one of you go first then.
You
Ian.
monkey.
I will go first. So one of my favourite Pokemon is Metagross, and that is a pretty decent counter for any Machamp. You will want the moveset of Max Mindstorm for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the second one. And thank you to Milo, who has left us now. But he traded me one of these. Gigantamax Venusaur is up there, number 2 on the counter list. That's a double grass mover, Vine Whip and Petal Blizzard.
Fabulous. And obviously the breakdown for Gmax Machamp, it's slightly different than a regular raid. It's not just a list of counters. You'll want something to tank. You'll want some attackers. A fine attacker which was possibly one of the cheapest things to get hold of. Dynamax Unpheasant with Air Slash, which obviously means it has a flying Dynamax move. The fast move is what dictates the Dynamax move on your Pokemon. So yeah, Unpheasant, the overgrown Pidove. Quality
Pokemon. If you took part in the Go Wild event back in November, you may have Gmax Toxtricity. If you do, it's not the best counter, but it is solid. You'll want the move Gmax Stun Shock.
Yeah, and this is one that maybe a lot of people will have in their sort of collection if they're concerned they haven't got any of these Gigantamaxes, and this is their first time they're going to take part in them. But good old-fashioned Moltres will be a good offering there, but it needs a double flying move, preferably wing attack and sky attack, not the fire move. The sort of... is it flying? It is flying.
It's flying.
The flappy moves.
There's a flappy bird.
The flappy moves.
There you go. And in terms of proper hardcore counters, that's kind of it. There isn't really much else you want to go for, but a wise tank to take in is actually what's a pretty good attacker. Dynamax Metagross. It will resist the fighting moves. It should be okay against the rock moves. Yeah, but in terms of a defender and tank... So oh my goodness me! That's a sore loser in the pub quiz. Doesn't know anything about Kazakhstan. Doesn't know what attacker, defender.
Get Metang in.
Jeez. Basically, you can utilize it in any slot if you fancy it.
Blissey. You kind of may want to take a Blissey in, only because of its healing qualities, realistically speaking. It's not going to do anything for attack.
Maybe it's safe to have that as part of you if you're remoting these in. I'd probably recommend most people do have a Blissey in there just to take some of that risk away from it. But if you're looking at Pokemon that most people might have, put Gengar in the party hat. I'm only joking. Put Charizard in there. Good old-fashioned Charry with Air Slash and Flame Thrower. Yes, that is a wing and a flamey move, flying and fire.
And another choice for a defender or healer, Gigantamax Blastoise will be much better to use than Blissey because it's not weak to fighting.
So interesting here. I know, again, we don't know what it's going to look like, but Pokebattler, they're estimating that beating Gigantamax Machamp should take 17 trainers with Pokemon of this strength. They say it will be a difficult fight and make sure everyone uses their best Pokemon. So there we go. Yeah. It doesn't mean 17 people with Grookeys.
17 Grookeys.
That ain't going to work. I'd love to take Swaddle into battle, but it's not going to work.
When are we getting Dynamax Swaddle? That's a more important question.
That is
800 CP. Question. But no, listen, do the research, look at these. Don't get frustrated if you haven't got the teams right, because if everyone has that mentality, it's not going to work.
And don't forget, if you've got smaller groups, and I know people have a stigma about it, but use your max mushrooms. They really do help.
Yeah, get your mushrooms out.
I hope you have a good time.
Anyway, speaking of having a good time, boys, we've had a WhatsApp message.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
So, one WhatsApp message this week, and actually, it came through a couple of hours before tonight's show. He's back from Japan. Darby Russ has been on.
Well, hello, incensed boys and all listeners. Hope everybody is well. Just listened to the latest episode, and a couple of, I think, requests still for WhatsApp messages. So here we go. Realised my last WhatsApp message was the night before flying to Japan. So very quickly, just want to touch on that. What an amazing place to go. The Pokemon Go scene out there was insane. I've played in New York, played in Rome, played in other big cities, but never have I ever seen anything like the vastness of gyms, of stops, of spawns. It was immense. So good to play out there quite a few times. Managed to get quite a few shinies out there, corresponded with a few events, so did well. Didn't get the shiny Farfetch, which was the goal, but what an amazing place to go. You have to go at some point. It was incredible. One lovely experience was in Tokyo. They had this place where it was a Pokemon Go little hub where you could go, and there was loads of players just playing the game. I tried my best with the language, but trying to do Pokemon Go language was a little bit difficult. So literally went in there, opened my game, and just went to the players and just showed the collection of Stonjourners and tried to see if anyone wanted to trade, and literally had a queue of people desperate for a Stonjourner. Went there a few times, but loved that experience of being able to give somebody a regional, and just very much kind of a small little insight into what it must feel like to be you boys when you go to some of the events around the world and get to do those sorts of trades, things that people are looking for. But seeing the looks on a couple of people's faces when the Stonjourners went across, did give someone a hundo, so it traded across. And
nice.
a hundo, so
well done.
Good on you.
So absolutely loved that. So yeah, just very much recommend Japan to go and play at any point. I'm already planning my next trip in a couple of years' time, because I just loved everything about the country, the people, the culture, the organisation, the standards, just off the scale, amazing. I've got your little gift from Japan, so next time I see you, I'll give you those. So I've brought back a little something each for you.
Oh, thank you.
So I'll give those to you next time I see you. And Ian, don't know if you're going to be in and around G-Town for G-Max Machamp, but I will be in that area. So maybe I'll come and see you for G-Max Machamp raid day in a couple of weeks' time. But I hope so well, boys. See you soon.
Oh, Ian and Russ will be in a field on their own in G-Town. I'm joking, Ian.
G-Max and G-Town.
Possibly, so that's fine, yeah.
No, you won't be.
Yeah,
you
come
won't
on down,
be,
Russ. I will be about for it. I'm definitely not going to be a sheep and go to Wheeling.
Be a sheep.
All sheep's fleetly tweeling.
Exactly. Sheep's going to the city suburbs.
Oh, goodness me. No, it's incredibly thoughtful that you brought something back from Japan. That's fantastic.
Thank you,
but great. Yeah, the adventure, awesome to hear of the Stonjourner success. Yeah, because it's that thing of it's only in the UK, so wherever you go, people are going to want that regional.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Good stuff. And thank you for the message, Russ.
Appreciate you sending that in. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Now, shall we see whether Russ actually put anything in this week's
Shinies of the week.
Well, we've got one on Blue Sky. Oh, Mark
still a
Bailey. It is still a shearling. I like that. Sheep and
fish.
earling is a shearling. I like that, actually.
Shearling.
So, Mark Bailey has put, another event comes to an end, and the one I missed the hatch animation for was, of course, the most interesting. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. Pretty happy with the Hundo Tinkertink too! Exclamation mark. He got the shiny Swablu. He did get the shiny Magikarp in. He was clicking on them.
Nice. That's
But
why
the one
I don't tap
he
on
did get the
those.
shiny Charcadet. Well done, Mark. Well done. The blue fiery-eyed boy. Very nice.
A fabulous hatch. Now, I'm going to jump into our Patreon exclusive Discord, and there's some good things in here. So I'm definitely going to jump back in here in another cycle, but JCST from the Silver Tier Patreon, the Go Pass keeps delivering.
I'm glad it does
He
for
managed to
somebody.
nab
Yeah.
a shiny Sandile from one of the encounters of the
Nice.
Go Pass, which is frankly awesome. Such an amazing shiny. So yeah, huge congratulations.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, sounds
I'm jumping on to X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and gold tier patron Edinburgh666, Sander van Driessen, sends this message. What a day. At Incense Podcast. Just caught my first Hundo female Combi, instantly evolved it, of course, and my first shiny Galarian Articuno, which is a level
Nice.
147
Oh.
CP. Beautiful little bluebird. Nice. GG's.
Congratulations on the Hundo Vespa Queen.
Steve back in Norway as
He's back in
Nicholas-
Norway, yeah?
I can stay over there as far as I'm concerned. Only joking, Steve. Love you. Love to see you last weekend. It was nice to spend some quality time with you. The duality of Niantic, and he's put in brackets, inside of 30 minutes. Niantic is good. My first shiny Pawneard and a shiny Crown Boy. Niantic is evil. 2G birds ran from me. And in brackets, having the Go ++ on may not have helped with the latter, as I was not fast enough with the
Can't
finger
blame
both
Niantic if
times.
you've got the Go ++ on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, he will, Ian. That's what he does. That is what he does. He loves that. Well done, Steve. And looking forward to seeing you later in the year in Norway, mate. But no, well done.
Ooh, friend.
Sorry, Ian. He got a shiny Pawniard.
No offense.
He got shiny Pawniards as well, Ian. Oh dear.
Oh, did he? Oh, well done,
Also,
Steve.
there's more about
GG's.
Kazakhstan.
I hate you two.
Right, still in Discord, our good friend Chicken Chaser has posted. Haven't submitted in a while, but I was super happy to get both of these. We love we love a short king and a shadow shiny coughing from a grunt. Has been a long time hunt for me. So yeah, it looks like he got a tiny shiny Nidoking, which is frankly hysterical. It's so squat and tiny, and yeah, the shadow shiny coughing as well.
Nice.
So, a nice dose of blue shinies there for you.
Very good.
And we'll round out this week with Gabriella. Gabriella B1982 said, Joy, my 8th Shundo is a Pawmi, never evolving this little cutie. Jealous of the Shundo Zorua.
We read that out, I remember.
Yeah, I think we did. Great shiners. Check out Gabriella's Shiners a Week on X.
Commonly Shundo, can't beat it really, and Pawmi's so
No.
goddamn cute. Congrats, everyone.
Congrats, everyone.
You're all winners. Well done.
Except me, but we've already covered that.
Aw.
So, anyway, thank you, everybody, for listening to us. Well, I don't really know how we filled nearly 2 hours tonight. Genuinely don't. That's
Pure
just
magic.
what happens when you talk a lot of...
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your
So, yeah, thanks for spending the last sort of hour and a half with us. I'm sure we can get it down to about an hour and a half. Please tune in next week. We are inching closer and closer to GOFest. Of course, Osaka is coming really soon. Jersey will be in 3 weeks and Paris in 4 weeks. It is crazy.
Nice.
And we will be announcing our GOFest schedules very, very soon. Now, we do need to say a few thank yous. So I'm talking to you, who's listening now.
Nice.
Thank you for listening. And we want to thank a few other people. So if you are a supporter of the podcast financially through Patreon, thank you very much for the support. We do value it so very much. If you're on our bronze tier, we don't have a jingle for bronze, but thank you for being the foundation of the show. But we started shouting out not only our gold, but our patrons. And we will start by naming all of you that support us on the tier. And you are KLXVI, Del Hazard X, Spindiana, Laurie Beck, Steve, who's back in Norway, who will be in Paris soon, I'm told. CC is Mad, McFloof, Saul Haberfield, Lizzie George, Sander Van der Drieser, Neonet, Ellen Rushton, James Alexander, Northern Soph, Tom Cattle, Charlie Todd, Robert Wilson, Miss Summer of 69, Malcolm Grinter, Geordie Castell, The Hot Weasel, and Shiny IKEA Mom. Thank you so much for being part of our tier. And we will now move on to our
gold member.
And you guys are JB, Kerry and Zachary, Barside 2, Mandy Croft, Mr. Mossum, and Mufti. Thank you for being our members. And we're not done with the thank yous. The Incense podcast might be Whitfield, Barrow, and Waterfall, but
Welcome, trainers.
the team isn't complete without our two admins, who are Hermes Ninja and I Am Pyrrhus. I almost said Prius. Shouldn't say that. It offends him. But yes, Sue and Francesco, thank you very much for being part of our support and backstage team. But boys, that's it. We managed to blag 2 hours tonight.
Whoa, hold on there, Vassa. I've got some clucking good news.
What?
Max Monday is actually something new. Sableye is coming.
Taxi will be
6,
happy.
7 p.m. That's pretty solid. I see you've also thrown in the fact that Spotlight Hour, it could be a golden dog. Poochyena is featured with 2 times evolution XP.
Do you want to know a weird thing? Since Poochyena was released in whatever generation it was, Gen 3, I've only ever encountered one.
One Poochie.
One shiny pooch.
Well, Ian, is that since it came into the game?
That's since the shiny was released into the game. I traded
Do you
for
wanna
the second
know?
one, but I only ever encountered one.
Guess how many I've got, Ian,
12.
since it came into the game? It is one that follows me everywhere. My little banana dog, gold dog, 8 of them I've had.
Go!
It's mad.
Marky loves...
Gold doggos.
Marky loves the gold members.
Anyway, let's wrap this one up because we're dragging this out far too long. More good news, boys.
What?
Yeah, we've got the raid hour for the Lake Trio in your area, but with the beauty of enhanced and extended remote raid passes. You can raid whichever one you want, basically, from your living room.
Well, I'm glad you think that's good news, but I genuinely don't. So on that terrible disappointment, we'll be back next week with more.
Welcome, trainers!
I choose you!